Hey guys, what's up? Colton, Lindsay here with the Fearless Agent Facebook Live. We're coming to you live inside of the Fearless Agent Facebook group, and we're going to talk to you about how do you smash every objection in your way. Okay, I don't care if it's a prospecting objection, I don't care if it's over the phone, at the door, at the presentation, in person, I don't care if it's an active client, it doesn't matter, I don't care if it's your spouse. Like, how do you crush these objections at a time? Like, I look back over to my 12-year career now, being with Fearless Agent 11 of those years, and I look like, well, what was the one thing that I got from it that allowed me to go from having to chase and handle the objections, which there are times you gotta handle objections, right? But how do I get to the point where I have to handle fewer objections because I smashed them ahead of time? I want you to put yes in the comments. You guys pop on, share where you're from, what you're all about, and I want you to put yes if you want to be able to smash every objection by getting your questions answered and actually eliminating those objections before they come up. Let me give you an example. I used to do this, and I actually talked about this on a webinar I taught today, but we know the magic question, right? If you're a fearless agent, or if you've been following me long enough, you know the magic question. It's like, if you knew 100% for certain doing business with me, two things would happen. One is you sell your house, Mr. Sellers, and the other is you end up with way more money in your pocket. I'm talking that you can get any other way, with or without an agent. Would you even want to hear about it, right? They're going to give you some answers based on that question. Now, there's three answers that you're going to get. Two of them are the right answer. One of them is the wrong answer. You've got to get your question answered. You got to re-ask it, okay? So one right answer is yes, we want to hear more about it. One right answer is no, we don't want to hear about it. Why is that a right answer? Well, because anyone that doesn't want to hear about getting more money is probably freaking crazy. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Would you rather work with someone that's sane and nice and motivated and willing to pay you more than what you're worth, or would you rather work with someone that's crazy and insane, is going to be a hassle, not going to want to pay you what you're worth, going to bug you on your commission the whole time, and talk shit about you the whole time? Which person would you rather work with? I choose the guy that thinks I am the god of real estate. That's what we're trying to identify here. But there's one other answer you might get that really what throws you off, and it's kind of a common answer, but it's not really the answer to your question. They're not answering your question. They're actually just saying a bunch of stuff, right? The other answer you might get to that question is, well, we're going to list our house in 3 weeks with our cousin Tom or our friend Julie or blah, blah, blah. We're going to list a flat fee. Like, they take you down this story of stuff. And why is that they take you down this story of stuff? Well, simply because they said it to the last realtor that talked to them on the phone, and it worked to get them off the phone, so now they give it to you so it gets you off the phone because they're trying to stump the chump, which you are the chump, right? So the natural tendency, and every other sales coach and every other sales trainer out there on the planet teaches you to now handle that objection by trying to overcome it, overcome listing with a friend, overcome waiting, overcome doing a flat fee, right? And those tactics are high pressured and they work, and you can set appointments from them, right? But it's usually you're going to overcome objections with crazy people doing it that way, and you're going to have clients that aren't going to send you referrals. They're not going to be fun to work with. They're going to bitch and moan with you the whole time, and they're going to waste your time, your money, and suck the life out of you. How many of you had that client before that sucks the life out of you? So how do you handle that objection without handling that objection? No, you say, okay, I appreciate that you're going to blah. You fill in the blank. I appreciate that you're going to X. Whatever they say, just say that, okay? And then you go back and say, well, let me ask that question differently. And you ask the magic question over again. You say, if you knew 100% for certain that doing business with me, two things would happen. One is you'd sell your house. The other is you'd end up with way more money in your pocket, with or without a realtor. I know it's a promise, Mr. Seller. Would you want to hear more about it? Be honest with me. And then they're either going to give you yes or they're going to give you no. And those are the answers you want. Now, if for some weird reason they are weird and they just are like not hearing you, and they say some other rabbit hole answer like, well, we got to give it 30 days because the market's shifting, and the neighbors sold for this and for that. All you do is simply say, I appreciate that you're going to wait for X days and for this and for that. Appreciate what they said, validate what they said to you so they know you're listening, they can hear you, and go back and repeat the question. Now, sometimes what I'll do is if I have to ask this question 3 or 4 times to get them to say yes or no. See, a yes or a no is the answer. Anything else is they're not answering my question. Okay, I want my question answered. If I have to go back a 3rd or 4th time, sometimes I begin to simplify it. So I say, okay, awesome. Let me maybe ask that a little bit differently. So if you knew you could keep yourself from losing a bunch of money and putting a bunch of extra money in your pocket, would you even want to hear about it? If they say no, right, I know they are super crazy. I know that I don't want to work with them. And in fact, I validate their craziness even more by saying, okay, let me just make sure I'm clear. You would not ever want to know how to get more money in your pocket and keep yourself from losing. You would not want that information. You'd not want that system. You would not want to know how to get you more money. Am I right? And if they say, yeah, you're right, I wouldn't want to hear about it. You know they're insane. We don't want to work with insane people. So the point is to get them saying a yes or no answer to that question. Now that's just one example. I took into a really deep explanation of it. But for any question that you ask, if they don't give you the answer and they give you some story, you've got to go back, validate what they said, share with them that you heard them and you hear them, but then go back and re-ask the question. Sometimes you've got to ask questions 2 or 3 times. I want you to imagine, like, how many of you guys have kids? Put yes in the comments if you have kids, right? I've got kids, and sometimes I have to ask my daughter 3 or 4 or 5 times the question before she'll actually answer me, right? Like, that's just how people are with short attention spans, right? So get your questions answered and don't chase their rabbit hole answers, because you'll get smashed and beat up if you do. Thanks for being a part of the Fearless Agent Nation. Make sure to like, comment, and share on this video. And if you're watching this on my YouTube or podcast, subscribe now. Subscribe now. Do a subscription, get on it, and go join Fearless Agent Nation now. Go to the website, fearlessagent.com. Appreciate you guys being a part of Fearless Agent. We'll see you later. Hey, thanks for the compliment on me looking skinny. Appreciate it, will you, man? And honor your word. What's the difference between those two? Because it's very clear you're not going to be able to attend both of those appointments at 5 p.m. That's like physically impossible to do. So how do you keep your word? You let the one person know, listen, I made a mistake. I double booked myself. I'm unable to meet our appointment at 5 o'clock.